You ain't got no muscle. You ain't got nothing to burn.
I don't got nothing.
Mine ready to die.
Them hip flexors gonna hit though.
Yeah, them hip flexors gonna hit hard.
Look, he's shaking already. What you mean? Yeah, he's shaking like a stripper in church.
Or like something in the bedroom with that magic wand hitting him.
The rabbit. The magic wand just vibrated. The rabbit got all that stuff, rabbit, got the beads in it.
That magic wand about the size of the RC water container. That magic wand got that power to it.
All right, fellas, yeah. Good talk. Magic wands and roses and powers and
rabbits.
Yeah, and then we had we like hunting, doing magic shows, gardening, all kind of stuff going on. Well, welcome to another Friday, 3-man pivot. Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor, Ryan Clark, Pivot fam. Thank you for pivoting with us. Glad to see you boys are doing well. Extremely happy that all of us are doing better than Offset. Like I think
that man okay, man. You know, he
Offset catching strays on this beautiful day, man.
No, I was just saying that when I look at, this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yep.
We had Ryan Mundy on the show, and remember he told us, he said, hey, what's good for black men's mental health is good for everybody's mental health.
Y'all move on from a relationship, you both move on. And y'all decide y'all's path. The road has now split. And whatever highway she jumps on, she's on the highway. You get on your own highway. I don't know, Let's ride. 285, 75 in Atlanta. They break off.
I think a lot of times, though, you want the highway that they get on to have a lot of traffic, right? You don't want the one that they get on to be like $140 million deep, 3 inches taller, handsome, and very successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want her to, when she get on that highway, you want her to hop on that highway in a Pinto, not a Rolls Royce.
One of them dirt roads.
Urus.
You want over there riding like this. We don't want the easy path.
285 go around the city, though. It's got to always come back around.
I come back around.
It's going to come back around.
Man,
just like grown folks do grown folks, man. They'll figure it out.
Thing with Stefan, the video that went crazy and all, I want to say, I don't know what was in that bag, whatever. I don't advocate for drugs. But him just speaking to other women, they act like it's a problem with him speaking to other women. What's wrong with that? It wasn't like he was grabbing them, touching them. He was just talking, BSing, probably had a couple drinks, having a good time. Man, listen, if you're in a relationship, you can interact with the opposite sex. That's what the thing was getting me about that damn Stefan Diggs boat video. He wasn't doing it. He was sitting there in the captain's chair bullshit.
But that's the beauty and the magic of social media. Like, they put it out there, and then it didn't even have sound, right? So only the people present in that immediate area, they know exactly what went down. For everybody else, it's just left for speculation, and it's 10 different storylines, maybe 100. And people really don't know, but, I digress.
Man, bump the storylines. Them people got a relationship. They happy in their relationship. Leave them people be. If they want to go on boats and enjoy their time together, he's not on a boat by himself, allow those people to do that. But with social media, people feel like they're entitled to the whole of your life. You don't have to go out and address what was going on. You just go on and live.
Keep living. And I'll tell you this too, Asia and myself, we go to the shake spots. And I'll ask Asia, hey, what's the prettiest girl in here? Okay, I'll go throw her money. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different ways relationships are done. So everybody, I would never look at another woman if I'm... No, but if your woman's okay with looking at another woman too. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to put people in their little relationship box, man. That's foolishness. That's foolish. Let them people live. They're happy. I saw the video. Stefan looked happy. Cardi looked happy looking back at Stefan. I'm happy. If she looking back happy, Stefan looking forward happy, I'm happy.
And the pivot moves on. Saw earlier this week, Asante Samuel and Dion got together to have a conversation. I think that's cool. I feel like Dion's always trying to figure out positive ways to find resolution and solution. But he said on that podcast with him that it hurt him to hear some of the things he heard about Shador during the draft process. Things like he was unprepared, things like he walked into meetings with headphones on. And he's like, and if you know my child, that's not how he's walking in. Fred, what's kind of your assessment of that situation?
I think first and foremost, Prime has a right to feel the way he felt. He's a parent first, right? I think that is prioritizing the entirety of the situation. I want to lead with that first. He's a parent, so he's going to have a natural emotion tied to, the treatment of his son. And I believe along the way, the treatment was unfair, in my opinion. We obviously understand that media scrutiny does come with professional sports, but in the case of Shador, I believe it was excessive, and a lot of it was sort of bent in a negative manner. So yeah, Deion has a right to feel the way he feels, much like any other parent would if certain things were said about their child. If it were evaluations based on his gameplay, and then they were talking about him, then that's fine. But, that kid did not do anything wrong. I know people might say, well, move on. You guys, everyone needs to move on. But this is about, Prime's feeling in his heart. And Prime is a good man. But I firmly believe that Shador caught a little bit of whatever Prime left out there from his career and how he moves now. Shador caught some of that. And I think he was just treated unfairly. And going forward, though, I do want to, or I would like to see the media treat him or speak about Shador based on, his talent going forward, and not all of this other stuff, these other ideas that they've come up with. Like, the kid, I think, is going to be a good pro and speak to that.
Proof's in the pudding now. I understand Prime being upset. He should have been, because they were talking about the man, yeah, he's unprofessional, he won't answer questions. I heard that he felt as if he was interviewing what team he wanted to play for more than trying to impress them with himself. I heard all that crap too. He is now with the Browns. The Browns don't want to lose. Go win the starting spot. And then them people have to apologize to him. But Prime's quarterback's son being drafted, one of the best players in NFL history being drafted, his son being drafted, it's unprecedented. He brings a lot of attention. The teams didn't know how to deal with it. That's my opinion. The teams didn't know how to deal with a kid like that that's already set for life and has a little something to him. And they wanted a little more meek and accepting. No, that's not Shador Sanders. That's not Prime. That's not Shiloh. That's not Bucky. That's not the Sanders. Your daddy, Deion Sanders, you gonna walk in the room with a little something because that's all you saw your whole life. So the league wasn't ready for it, but now they're in OTAs now. They about to go to camp here in a couple months. Proof's in the pudding. Go win the job, Shador. That's what I would say. Go win the job, and these people gonna sound stupid, to be honest.
Maybe it's my algorithm, but I see Shiloh and Shador more than I've ever seen any undrafted guy or fifth-round guy on social media in the history of Instagram, Threads, Twitter, X, whatever it is. Like, those dudes are everywhere. And they caught some of Deion's strays, right? Deion had a level of greatness that was untouchable, right? Deion could say, yeah, I'm not interviewing with these people because I'm not going to be there in the draft. Deion could say, hey, I already ran 140. I ain't effing with no more of this testing because y'all already know I'm top 5 and it ain't tripping. Watch the film, know who I am. That's the difference between, I think, Deion and who his kids were. And then I think Deion's approach to it made other people, Deion's fame, right? Deion's success, Deion's ability to one day be a head coach in the league. Also, Deion's ability and what he's done in navigating the present, right? When we talk about college of his children and now going into the pros, this was the first thing he couldn't control. And they was like, I got you. Now, it's not about the actual evaluation. Because like what Freddie said, if you evaluate him a certain way, then that's just the evaluation. It was the chatter, right? It was the conversation around him. So many things about Shador during the draft process were character, personality. All these things that we can't prove on the outside, right? We were able to watch the film and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe his pocket movement ain't what you want in the first round. Maybe he doesn't have the speed to extend plays. Maybe he doesn't have the rocket arm like some of these dudes. But every report was about something we couldn't refute, also something folks couldn't prove. I feel like Deion's hurt also comes from him always being able to take care of his kids as a father and having a little bit of a feeling that some of this is because of me and I can't take it away from them. You know how it is as dads, man. It's like you want all the good for your kids and none of the bad. And then when anything's bad, that's why kids cry, right? Because when they know when they cry, we want to figure out how to stop you from crying. You hungry, you wet, you're tired, let me tend to that from the time that they're born. And Deion finally got to a point where he was like, damn, can't do it. And I think that's difficult to deal with.
I'm sure Joe, I'm sure Nari, I'm sure kids, they have something in you nature-wise and nurture-wise. You think if Shador them Shiloh come home at 6, all insecure about themselves, looking at the ground, what's Deion gonna tell them?
Pick your head up.
Keep working, keep grinding. You got beat today, you ain't gonna get beat tomorrow. That's what with Lil Chan and Chaz and Ava, that's what I'm putting that on them, that mindset. And now that mindset is not working anymore. So now it's, now as a father, you have to adjust. But Deion should not feel any way about what happened, because now everybody wants to put this crap on the draft. We didn't hear about Jackson Dart's personality. We heard a little bit about Cam Ward because he was the #1 pick, but we didn't hear any criticism about all those quarterbacks. But everything about Shador was, he had glasses on. He looks at his watch when he scores. Who gives a damn? He just scored. He can look at whatever the hell he wants to.
Yeah, and if they really made any honest evaluations, they would have noticed that he was this way at Colorado. He pulled up with the watch. He had the chain. This is just how this kid is. But they have to be able to separate the gameplay from the personal stuff, right? So I look at my son, Jim McElwain, when he snatched Kelvin up. And the media, he was embarrassed. Everybody embarrassed him. I fell back because I understood it was a game. It was something he did that he shouldn't have done, and I was cool with it. If it was something on the field that Shador did and the media criticized him, Prime would be fine with it. But when it's personal, based on the kid's personality, then I'm okay with Prime feeling the way that he feels, because media knows how to separate the two, and oftentimes they don't, and especially when it comes to the Sanders family.
His kids, right? Obviously, your father's one of the greatest football players of all time. They follow in his footsteps. You were just talking about KT, same with you. My son played football. Jaden played sports in high school. Logan played volleyball. Your kids play sports. Ava's gone from tennis to basketball, Lil Chan, football, baseball. I read something this week. They were having a debate saying that telling young Black children to play sports is ruining them. And now the guy kind of went on and he kind of rephrased it later, because people was like, hold on, wait, sports do all of these good things. Yeah. And he was saying, making them feel like they have to be a professional was sort of the thing. What's your mindset on your kids playing sports and your way of approaching how they look at it?
My thing is that I think sports is great for kids. The camaraderie of it, the work ethic, going out there, the waking up early, I think that's great for all things. This summer, we got Chan in guitar camp. He already plays the drums. He kind of looked and was like, Daddy, the guitarist is always in front. I said, well, let's go learn how to play the guitar. Diversify what they're doing. And sports is one angle, but it shouldn't be everything. We demand straight A's. Chaz don't get grades, he's 4, but Ava and Lil Chan straight A's this last semester. Okay, checklist. Sports, checklist. Instruments, checklist. I think that's what you're supposed to do with your kids. I don't think telling a kid to play sports is bad at all.
Right.
I think making that their entire life is the problem. And even past that, going for everything for a career. No. My kids love to fish. My kids love to go to the bouncy houses, whatever they're called. They love to go to the beach. They love to go with the little belly board and run across the little surf and all. That's what I think is the problem, when you put so much on sports that the whole family has these blinders on. You're going to the NFL. You're going to the NBA. You're going to be in Major League Baseball. Introduce them to it. Push them through it, get them trainers, get them good coaches. You know what, especially if you play ball, you know what it takes to be a professional. Do all of that, but also let them enjoy life. And that's what I think the problem is with that. My major focus on this one thing, that's all they're doing. They might, if they don't make it, now what is their life? We talk about mental health. What is it? If I tear my knee up in high school, what is it then? So I think that's the bigger conversation, is that you don't have to, it's not bad to make a kid play sports. It's bad to only make a kid play sports.
If more parents understood the small percentage of athletes that make it to that dream, that professional sports, then I think they would also introduce them to other arenas, right? I think Black excellence shouldn't always be you know, the default dream sports shouldn't just be always the default dream, right? For Black people. And I want we're very athletic. We're great at it, actually. But I think a lot of times, too, that's all we have in certain demographics, certain neighborhoods. But, you know, I think that we have to do a better job in our community of identifying the other heroes, our Black heroes in tech, in entrepreneurship, you know, in the arts, all these different things, and music as well. And not just say sports is your only way out. Because we have some brilliant, beautiful Black minds in all spaces. So as parents, introduce your children to all these different avenues, all these different arenas. I said all the time too, exposure does lead to expansion. You're introducing chant to guitaring and all that other stuff, but I have to also be better at how I want my kids to be or give them opportunities to go and succeed in other spaces. And everyone wanted me to just put them in football and sports. I said, nah. If I introduce them, they like it, they'll play sports. If they don't, they got to go and do something else. But those grades are going to always be, you know, at the forefront of what we try and do. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
I think it helps for parents to have girls. Girls, females, very rarely have these expectations of getting these communal, cultural families out the quote-unquote hood, right? They don't have that on them because what are you going to play that's going to change all of our lives? And so when you think about women, it is you're pouring into them and you want them to play sports and you want them to be athletic and you want them to understand what it is to be a part of that culture, a culture of striving for greatness, a culture of understanding work ethic and discipline. And so when I put my girls in the sports, it wasn't so, hey man, so you can go be professional. It was to give them a different community. It was to let them see people of diverse backgrounds and now we can all come together and try to do this one thing. Right? But boys is different because of what we could see, of what we could touch. Every time Fred Taylor goes back to where he's from and does a camp or he's seen in a store, he's seen around, those young kids say, damn, he from where I'm from, I could go do that same thing. Same thing with you, same thing with me, right? So many times now I get calls from young people about TV, right? Because these kids don't know I even played football. Right? But they know I did TV. And so because they could see me, because they could touch me, because they could be around me, now that's a dream of theirs. You know, when you talk about like putting a kid in the sport so he could be a professional, it's not about putting him in the sport so he can be a professional. Put him in the sport so he could want to be excellent at something.
Right. And
honestly, the truth is, right, he's going to take to the thing that's probably easy for him, which means he's good at it, right? Like Marcus Spears' son, whose mother was a first-round draft pick, whose father was a first-round draft pick and a top 50 hooper when he came out of high school, he's supposed to go play basketball. And then when you see he's grown to 6'8", you're supposed to push him to try to be the best he could possibly be, which means he could be a top 5 draft pick. That's his lot in life, not everybody's. But we also shouldn't tell kids don't strive for excellence. It's about saying this is all I can do. Tell them they can do other things. Show them they can do other things. But I don't want playing sports to get sort of this negative connotation in our communities. Because if I don't play sports, I don't get to the Catholic school that provides me an opportunity to be prepared to go take my ACT and hit my numbers the first time. To be prepared to go to college and be the go-to guy in every interview, prepared to go to college and get into the Manship School of Mass Communications. And so sports can take you places, but for us, like for me with Jordan, our conversations were always about where his feet were at the present time and what the next step was. And I think you got to do that and can't put a kid in Little League and say, hey, go be Joe Montana.
And one more thing I think parents should do, don't say, if I don't make it, my plan B. I'm getting through that now, having the kids growing up now. Don't say, I'm playing baseball. Oh, I don't go to major leagues. Almost like a letdown. Now I have to be a doctor. Now I have to be a lawyer. Ava, I'm playing in WNBA. We watched Dallas, what was it, Seattle the other night. She's watching Skylar Diggins out there doing, she can dribble daddy. I'm like, yeah. She says, I'm gonna play in WNBA, and then I'm gonna be a veterinarian, and then I'm gonna open my own dog hotel because people can leave their dog to me, and I'm a vet now, so if they get sick, I'm gonna do this, and then do this, and then do this. don't make plan Bs like a letdown of life, a letdown of the family. That's what I would say when you're planning, when you got them kids set in sports, it's not, now I gotta be an attorney. It's not like that. It should never be like that.
And you also shouldn't say when. You shouldn't say when. You shouldn't say when Joey makes it, when Robert makes it, when this happens. You also don't have to say if. What you say is, hey man, we're working for right now. I heard a parent recently, I forget where I was, say when such and such gets to the NFL, and my stomach turned. And now, it also ain't for me, who could look at this child. I know his mama and his daddy. Genetically, that's not the lottery he hit, right? But he is a good little athlete. I think we set our kids up when we're saying when, because you already now spending his money. And that's not his job.
Yeah, it goes back to the parents living their personal dreams through their children. But Chan, I wanted to ask you something because LeBron just recently said parents got to be careful because they overtrain. You know, they put kids in so many different sports and then the kids face burnout before they're 22, 23. I have young kids, but they're not in sports. You have kids that are in multiple sports. How do you balance, finding or creating an environment that they eventually kind of take to and find their love for the game versus pushing them too hard and turning them off later in life?
It's a balance. It is a back and forth because like RC just said, Ava was in tennis heavy, homeschool, tennis, 5 hours in the morning, go to school for 3 hours, 3 hours in the afternoon. Like she wanted to do tennis. So Asia and myself, we let her see like, hey, this is what Coco Gauff did. This is what the Williams sisters did. You want to be that? You want to play tennis? Let's do everything possible to make you successful at tennis. Little Chan, baseball. Got his team practice, got his batting coach, got his trainer come over twice a week in the morning. We're gonna do as much as we can to maximize your ability at that sport. But the burnout is something that I haven't seen yet. But Ava did switch to basketball, but she was saying she doesn't want to be all by herself all day. Tennis is very isolating. Hey. So as soon as she said that, did we just say, oh, go play on the rec league? No, we went and found an amazing coach with the Miramar Miracles. So you don't want to do tennis? You want to do basketball? Okay, well, let's go maximize basketball now. So I think that's the thing you got to do. And also, don't specialize. That's what they call it, right? When kids play just one sport. All the kids at school, Chan and Ava, they school teams, they can play on them all they want to. Hey, I'm going to miss baseball because we're playing flag football at school. I want to go try out and see if I play flag football. No problem, go play it. I think that specializing is the problem that parents get into when somebody's 8, 9 years old. You're a baseball player. You're a basketball player. Let's see if Big Spears he's 6'8", he might be able to kick that foot back and, you know what I'm saying? You never know.
He like 160.
Yeah, nah,
he ain't kicking that foot back. But just that, to answer your question, I think that specializing is what burns kids out.
Well, even for you, RC, your children are older now, right? So I don't know if you went through it, but a lot of these parents are travel parents. The parents might damn near be facing burnout. They got to go everywhere and support their children, right? Like, what's your thoughts on LeBron's statement?
Yeah, I think the first thing about what LeBron's saying, I think it's funny because he's talking to Luka, who's been a professional player since he was a teenager, right? He don't seem burnt out when he be dropping 40. Now maybe he's burnt out on defensive end. You know what I'm saying? But when you think about LeBron's statement, I think the burnout comes in two ways, right? It comes for lazy people, right? Because that's when you realize the reason you were doing all of these things, the reason you were in all of these places was because your parent was bringing you to do it. Because your parent was saying, okay, I know the way to get you there. Let me help you get there. And now when left up to your own devices, you don't have that drive. You don't have that thing in you that says, let me go take this next step on my own. Yeah, I'm a lottery pick. Let me go be an all-star. Yeah, I'm an all-star, but let me go be all NBA. Yeah, I'm all NBA. Let me go win a chip. Let me go be a Hall of Famer, right? Those people have something that's internal that drove them, right? Like me and Jordan got to the point where he was like, hey, Pop, I know we got this 6 o'clock. Or I tell him, hey, Jordan, Mo's doing sprint work today at Traction if you want to go over there. You got your own car. I'm not going to be home. And he would drive and go do it. And for me and him, it was like every step, right? I teach him something, then I let him go do it. I teach him something, then I let him go do it. Now, he gets to a point to where he's on his own. He FaceTimes not too long ago we answer the phone and I'm watching him rolling out, or I'm watching him on a Saturday in the gym by himself. That's who he learned to be. The other thing is people who set goals to be a professional, right? Because when you set a goal, it's not just about the goal you set, it's about learning to be the sort of person that accomplishes that goal, right? When I set a goal of being in the NBA, it's like, okay, what type of person does that? Type of person that's disciplined, the type of person that trains hard, the type of person that eats right, the type of person that gets these amount of shots up a day. So when you do get there and you're on that next level, either you're gonna maintain that or you're gonna take it a step further. But if your only goal was to get there, I didn't hit the finish line now. What am I working for? What am I trying to take that next step for? And so for me, it's not necessarily that these kids or these young men, young women grind like that. It's that either they never wanted to or they only did it to get there. And I think that sort of mindset puts you in a place where you don't keep working.
And I think to this conversation is something Amon-Ra St. Brown's dad, because he has, three of them in the league. Three brothers in the NFL. Like, you just talking about how hard it is to make it, three brothers in the NFL. And Aaron Donald talked about it with his dad. I didn't want to go to the gym. Aaron Donald said, like, I didn't want to go work out as much as my dad, 4 a.m. every morning. But once he started making me go, I started loving how my body changed, how I looked, how my strength went. Amon-Ra St. Brown's dad, he got a little more gangster in him. He was like, they getting their ass up. We about to go work out. So the push of it, I do, to your point with Jordan, I think you were laying the framework for him to now love it. I think Aaron Donald had the framework laid to now love it. I'm doing it right now with a 13-year-old. Chang, want to go work out at 6 a.m.? Nah. But we're getting better, we're grinding. 6 a.m.? Let's work out around 11, Dad, it's summertime. No, I got to work at 2. You know what I'm saying? So I think you lay the groundwork, but at some point, to your point, I think I know what you're saying. They have to fall in the line to love.
Because I trained Jordan, obviously, right? I started to work for him, right? When it initially started, it's Joe, it's 6 o'clock, let's go. Joe, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up from school after school when you work out with your teammates. I know they going to Top Golf, but you got to come over here and get this footwork. There was that. And then it turned into, Pop, can we go train on Saturday? Pop, can we go Friday? Right now, I'm just his trainer. Don't get me wrong, I'm always his father, but it's the same like you in the league with Bomberitos, right? You going over there because you know that's where you want to train. He not calling you on the phone so you go train. And so, we got to that point. And, you look at those guys who get there and don't want to work no more or feel like they have burnout. And then you see dudes like Steph, who is legitimately the best shooter that has ever lived. And recently he's talking about having imposter syndrome, right? And feeling like he doesn't belong and having to go through the mindset every day of showing up for people, of being his best self. The way I got in, Freddie T, like I always felt like I wasn't supposed to be there because that's what the world or football told me. Is that something you ever had to deal with as a guy that goes top 10 and is that dude?
I understand what Steph is saying. And some people can use it as a certain sort of motivation, right? Mental health is real, man. The good thing is he's aware of what he's going through. And the great thing is he's able to share it. People look at Steph. I read some of the comments, man, when I saw the article come up. People was in there saying, man, you Steph Curry. And some other people were saying, man, if he doesn't know he's Steph Curry, then I'm cooked. Who am I? I think you have to be able to identify, and listen to your intuition. Listen to yourself and understand that you can help so many other people by sharing it. I personally, RC, I didn't know how good I was. Hell, I didn't even know who I was as a player until later in my career. Maybe sort of like Steph. I knew I was good. I didn't know how good. I never thought it was an issue. I just enjoyed showing up, playing, trying to help the team win. We didn't speak about mental health a whole lot. I did work with Trevor, and he helped re-encourage my confidence. But I never really thought I lost confidence. So I was battling, so much that, I myself wasn't observing. And then later on, I was like, oh, wow, I did lose confidence right here. Oh, wow, I was, someone I didn't know I was, if that makes sense, right? But yeah, man, I think Steph being in the position that he's in is great, especially this time of the year with June being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I think it'll help a lot of people to go back and self-examine themselves, ask themselves the right questions so they can lift off whatever burdens or whatever they might be carrying. So I'm all for it, man. I'm glad he was able to identify it and now give it to everybody so we can all use it to be better.
Freddie Swims, someone who isn't myself sometimes.
Hey.
Just something quick on it. Y'all know my opinion on like the doubters from the outside.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. You're a doubt from outside. But there's internal doubt too. And really, I would say the same thing to that. Like, look, if one of these little reporters or somebody wants to tell you that you're terrible or tell you that you're not good at your job, they're gonna find little stats and numbers to put you down the list and all this crap. Go look at your stuff. Like even me, I'm starting for the Dolphins, led a team in tackles, did this. Who leads NFL teams in tackle? Oh, I'm the shit. Did I look at my missed games? Did I know about them? Yeah, but find the positive. The devil doesn't sleep. The devil does not sleep, and that's what's sneaking into your mind. So when I say F the outside haters, F your inside haters too, and respect and know who you are. And that's the thing, and I'm not questioning Steph, because there's a lot of athletes like that. Why did Jordan keep working so hard? Kobe keep working so hard? All them boys wanted to go grind because they wanted to stay on top, even if they didn't think they were on top. Go grind, but F the outside noise and really try your hardest to F the inside noise.
You know, Steph somewhat having imposter syndrome makes total sense to me. Freddie T mentioned the fact that people were like, well, if he doesn't know he's Steph, like, I'm cooked. He does know he's Steph, and he knows he's all of Steph. Like, he remembers being the skinny kid that had to remake his whole shot and he couldn't hit the rim. He remembers being recruited or not being recruited and ending up at Davidson. He remembers being drafted early, people calling him a bust because his ankles turned or broke or whatever it was every single season. Like, those things never go away. Like, you never forget that people didn't want you. And I think depending on the day, right? Depending on the day, it works both ways, right? There's some days where you wake up and you go shoot 100 shots and 90 of them fall and you say to yourself, yeah, they was all wrong, right? And then there's other days you go there and not as many fall and you like, man, is that old me showing up? Like, there were days I'd go to the stadium and I'd walk out the stadium and I'd be like, man, I love coming here every single Sunday and saying that the one dude that thought I could play that was a New York Giants scout was right, right? And then sometimes you go to the stadium and you leave after you played LaDainian Tomlinson and you're like, damn, were the other 31 teams correct? And so, like, that never goes away. And I think people find greatness in two different ways, right? You find it because you develop a way to grind based on the fact that nobody told you you could have it. Nobody told you it was possible for you. And so every morning you wake up like you feel that way. But what about Shaq? What about LeBron, right? What about all of these dudes who were supposed to be that guy? You got to go find your greatness because you're destined for it, right? Because you're saying to yourself, I actually know I'm supposed to be here. So since I know I'm supposed to be here, let me go prove it to me. There's one where you try to quiet everything that other people have done to you. And then there's another one where you try to raise the volume on everything you've already told yourself. And I think depending on which one you wake up as, right, that's how your day goes. And I think that's why mental health, is so important.
You just described mental health.
Yeah.
Outside versus the inside.
Yeah.
Which one are you gonna listen to? What are you gonna deal with, and what are you gonna believe?
How would your mental health be if you raised a child, you married her mom when she was 2, she graduates, and you didn't get an invite? How would that affect your mental health?
Got lost in the mail.
You live in the same house.
But it's the stepdad. He
You raised the
That's all the
kid.
story. The stepdad raised the girl from 2 years, 4 months
married
old.
the mom.
And was the
Married the
dad?
mom at 2.
Was the daddy at the?
The daddy was there.
The daddy was at the.
Daddy was there. The auntie boyfriend too.
The
Yeah.
boyfriend.
The auntie's boyfriend was
And
there.
he didn't get
and
invited.
the 2 sisters.
and was buying food and raising and picking up
And
from
then he
school.
put her off his health insurance too, though, and said,
And took the car insurance.
and you got to go live your life now, because clearly I'm not important enough to be a part of this graduation, so I'm also not important enough to pay all these bills for you.
That's tough.
But is he right with the reaction, though, Chan?
She's a kid still. And I don't know that. I would be honest, the outside noise, we were talking about that, the outside noise of what her dad's telling her, what her aunties are telling her. I don't know their relationship. I don't know what the daddy's telling her about the stepdaddy. So it's more to it than that, because I think I would need to know more about the relationship there, because I don't see how she could disrespect that man that raised her since 4 months old for 17, 18 years and not even get an invite. It ain't like she got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Give me a little ticket, let me sit in the stands. Come on, man.
She only got 8. You know, students, they kind of minimize how many tickets you get. So she got 8, and like RC said, it was 1 for the mom, 2 for her sisters, 1 for the aunt, 1 for the uncle, 1 for the grandmother, 1 for her boyfriend, and 1 for her dad, her biological father. So that was 8. And the stepdad, who was there every step of the way, he was excluded. So I think it comes down to communications and boundaries. I think it sets the stage for the certain level of expectation he should have. This is a conversation he should have had with the wife. Or maybe they did, I don't know. But I think he has a right to be hurt. He said he wasn't disappointed, but he was certainly hurt. The daughter, the stepdaughter, it was heavy on her because this is her moment. And he didn't make the list. You know, I'm not laughing, man, but it's tough. I would be hurt if I were him. You know, I would be in a hard position if I were her too. But naturally, my aunt and uncle probably wouldn't have made the cut. My stepdad would have been there.
If her dad was there, financially
It ain't the
supportive
dad, it's
and
the
everything.
boyfriends and all them. Like that's the.
See, how close are you though? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think it matters. You know, clearly, I'm not a stepfather. You know, my 3 children are my 3 children. Contrary to popular belief, Jaden lived with me her entire life. And you deal with some of those things, right? Like when you take care of someone else's child like it's your own for such a long time, it becomes your own to you. It becomes your own to you in your heart. It becomes your own to you in your head. And there are moments in life where you're reminded that they're not. And I think that's a very difficult thing. This man has been with her mom since she was 4 months, been married to her mom since she was 2, and taking care of her like his own, then that's a very difficult thing to deal with. And having sort of been in that position as a father, I know that I didn't always do, you know, thinking about the mom, like you're always in this tough spot of, okay, I have to take care of my spouse's feelings, but I got to take care of this child. I got to make sure this child doesn't feel like they're wrong for what they feel or who they feel close to. And then sometimes you minimize the feeling of your spouse or your significant other or the stepdad or the stepmom because you sort of go, well, they're the adult, right? They're supposed to adjust or adapt, but that's not real life. And since you don't necessarily have to deal with it, you're now in this place of sort of a, you know, going back and forth, like, who do I take care of? Who matters? And so it truly does fall on the mom in that case to be like, hey, I got to step up and say he deserves to be there. I love you, baby. I know you're trying to do the right thing, but this is how this has to go. And I think it's just tough, you know, for everybody, man. And like when you look at it, you are going to be on the outside and, you know, you always talk about counting pockets. I'm gonna be counting sacrifices, right? If you the stepdad, he wasn't at every birthday party. He didn't pay for school. He didn't buy school shoes. And I'm not even talking about the real daddy. It could be the aunt or the whoever's boyfriend, right? All those things start to play, man. So like, I understand being hurt. And then the question becomes though, because this event has acknowledged you're a step parent, do you no longer treat that child as you have for 18 years that she's your own? And I think that's where,
You still treat her like she's young. Well, he didn't, because he took her off all the insurances and all that stuff. Like, the mom, I think both of you had on head, the mom should have dealt with this. The biological real mom should have been the liaison, been the middleman of this conversation.
She should have been the one to like delve out the tickets. If she's still 18, this isn't college, because here's what I learned. I had a homeboy who had the best mother. Her parents were divorced, and he would always try to get by his dad's house. And his dad really wasn't fooling with him like that. He was always trying to be close to his siblings from his dad, because he was the only child from his mom. Like, he yearned for that. You know what I'm saying? I had a child who was raised by me and Yank in our house with our other children, and she was treated no differently, right? Like, there was one time that somebody actually complimented me to Yanka and said, man, it is so amazing that Ryan takes care of Jaden like she's his own, because they thought that was her child from a previous relationship. And so, you know, I think that like when you look at all of those things, it's like, man, it gets so difficult to figure it all out. And I think that's the very, you know, tough part about it.
Yeah, I'm replaying this in my head, man, and he said he was in her life since she was 4.
4 months.
4 months, correct, right? Man, that's kind of, the baby's only 4 months. Where was the dad? Like, what happened with the relationship? I think you become a stepdad, like, maybe he kind of was on the other end of flying the mama out.
No, not even that. Like, if they didn't have a relationship, it was a one-night stand, they made a baby, and the daddy hit it, and now this other dude raised this daughter. The daddy didn't care about the girl anyway. Like, you gotta know the whole dynamic.
We don't really know that.
We don't know the whole
Right,
dynamic of what happened.
right.
But if I would feel a certain way, I think the extreme of taking off the insurance and taking all that stuff, like, that's extreme if you've been around somebody for a decade and a half. But the man felt the way he felt. That's his damn insurance. That's his damn whatever else. That's his shit.
But no, seriously, like, what do y'all think, though? What's the guidelines for the whole flying out situation?
Well, so
should you expect sex?
Well, the big conversation, and I saw a post, girl said, man, you can't be expecting, you know, that sort of treatment on some friend zone stuff. Like, you can't be expected to be treated like a queen on some friend zone stuff. But on the other side, the man can't really expect king treatment off of some Expedia receipts. You know, Chan, now we are way past our flued out days.
There we go. We ain't fluding out and nobody's fluding us.
The term didn't even exist.
But, Chan, based on your limited knowledge of flued out, if you get on the plane,
and I pay for the ticket.
You pay for the ticket.
I bring you to my establishment of home.
You bring her to
your house.
Your domain.
I'm paying for her living
lodging
expenses.
Her lodging.
And meals, I would say.
And meals. Do you expect to get some goodies?
Hell yeah. Why are we flying out? We know each other, obviously. You say, hey, I want to come down to the city you in. I'm going to come over. You going to pay for the ticket. I'm going to get to your house. We're going to go eat, have dinner and all that stuff. And then I'm going to sleep on the couch and you in the bed.
That's the conversation that can take place.
That's a conversation that should take place. But if we just want to look at it, stare at each other, we're going Zoom or FaceTime.
But why you can't have that conversation before the flight?
We talk. That's what I'm saying. Talk on the phone. Hey, are we bumping uglies? No, I don't want to bump no uglies. Well, let's FaceTime. We just want to look at each other. You can go bowling with your friends. I go bowling with mine.
But what if she's trying to figure out the vibe? Or what if you want to figure out the vibe? Maybe you don't even know if you want to have sex.
Zoom vibe. I believe in Zoom vibes.
We don't do Zoom interviews.
Huh?
Sit-downs, conversations.
I guarantee you I could go on a Zoom and say, oh, yeah, he ain't nobody been on the show yet. She ain't nobody been on the show. You can figure out somebody with a Zoom, man. What's the point of getting together like that to get a vibe? You know I don't believe in vibes and Zoom and all that. It was to see if if you're a Capricorn and I'm a Sagittarius, do we come together with our sun persons? Get out of here with that shit. I'm bringing you to me to now eat and bowl and sleep. Y'all kiss my ass. I might be old school. That sounds crazy.
I don't necessarily. Okay. Let me give a different side of it, right? I get it. you're not gonna pay for her to fly, sleep, eat, have a good time if you don't get a payoff.
But at that point, she's a pet. I'm paying for everything. I'm feeding her. I'm letting her sleep in the house, and now we just. How was your night?
Right,
dude?
but also too.
You want bacon or sausage?
Now, okay, so here's the first thing, right? There's a lot of people who just won't fly to somebody if they don't already have that relationship.
Established.
So you know, right?
Established
But we are also in a time where people meet on social media a lot, right? So if you're not in the same city, the only way for me to actually have a conversation with you face to face is for you to get on a plane. So my thing is, okay, let's just have the conversation of what your expectation is.
Yeah.
Right? And then now, based on your expectation, that's how I make a decision on whether or not I'm gonna pay for this ticket and lodging and food and all that, because it's kind of like a first meeting or a first date, right? So you already know.
Yes.
And also too, like I remember, bro, it was like 02, right? I was young, met a little chick at Essence. And I already know her. You know, back in our days, you wouldn't get no social media. I already know her. She flew out, we went half, because I was on practice squad. I said, I don't know you like that.
It's called Dutch.
Right? Dutch, we went Dutch.
Yeah.
And you know what? I made a decision that I didn't want to give nothing up. By the time she got there and we hung out, I realized I don't want to do it with you.
I see. In your life, you withhold Peter Wee?
I didn't withhold anyway because
You
it wasn't
Peter
hers. It was not hers yet. And it wasn't in there like a body is not my own situation.
Your temple. You don't want to let her in your temple?
I didn't like her like that. And we went Dutch, so I ain't waste no money. But what if that happens now? What if it's the first meeting, I fly you out? No, if I take you on vacation, of course I expect it. But even then, I can act like I don't want it the first night because I know we on vacation for 3 weeks. Now I'm a gentleman.
You can do the FaceTime.
Man, Chan, stop it, bro. People be feeling like they're in these parasocial relationships. That's why I need to meet people, be around them, and if the vibe is off, y'all should both be able to say, hey, this is okay, you can go back home.
What does the vibe mean?
What if you don't like
But
it?
you're talking on the phone.
No, but
you
like
talk
this-
on the
no,
phone for
when you get
45
the-
minutes.
you
You
can-
FaceTime, you Zoom. Like, you could look at Dave's facial expression. Like, what does vibe mean? Like that. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's
that whole.
usually an in-person thing, possibly, right?
But what does it mean?
But you have to have that. You have to have that pregame conversation. You have to establish, what the expectations are. You got to communicate. You got to talk. You got to set boundaries. You can't just run out there and say, okay, this is going to happen, because you're setting yourself up for disappointment if sex is what you're actually looking for at the end game. So you can have a pregame before the pregame. You're going to go have drinks and stuff, but you have that conversation, and you can do that over the Zoom and everything else.
Yes.
So do you feel like every first date you're supposed to get some? Because like if you
No.
go, and honestly, if you feel like you spend money on a girl, you're supposed to get some,
No.
just get a prostitute or a working girl.
No,
boy.
no, it's different. If you go to the mall and meet Sally, and then you say, Sally, can I have your number? I'm gonna call you tonight. We can go to the Piccadilly. You go to the Piccadilly and you talking to Sally. She's in the same city you are. You and Sally ain't, okay, Sally's weird. She got a lisp. I don't know why you don't like her. You and Sally separate and go your separate ways. Y'all text on Christmas. If we meet and we establish, I'm flying to your city to stay with you.
You do also
To
realize,
go out.
Chan,
You
people
are
meet on
not-
social media now
What are you
and
co-
internet.
And
And it could be the first meeting
I tell
in
you
person.
this. So you fly somebody out and they have plans. I pay for your ticket. You come stay at my house. Hey, RC, my homegirl's down here. I'm about to go have dinner with them.
Stay with them. Live with them. Let them fly you back home.
I saw that before.
I'll grab my pearls.
I saw that before.
You know where they stuff gonna be? By the mailbox out front.
No.
With the sprinkler system on.
The thing that I saw, when the girl touched down, the guy picked her up, loaded the bags, did everything. She was like, oh, can we go down to this mall? I've always wanted to go to your mall in your city. He was like, that wasn't the conversation. We didn't talk about that. We're not going to the mall. She's like, but I just want to go and I'll meet my girl down there. We'll go to the mall. He's like, I don't know about that. That wasn't the deal. They didn't make it past the airport exit. He dropped her off. He went and took the bag out, put it back down, and just pulled off.
Hashtag respectfully, though. It was respectful.
Right, because he asked her. He's like,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't the conversation. But,
If you don't stand for nothing, you'll go for anything.
right.
Communication. Last 2 topics we had was about communication. The girl, the
In life.
stepdaddy should have communicated. And if you're gonna flute somebody out, you need to communicate what's happening when you get there. Communication is a lost form in this current world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how we transition to that. Obviously, the show is now over because that is the ultimate pivot. But John Brinkus of Sports Science passed recently, and his family or whoever posts from his site said it was he lost his bout with depression, which I think is sort of apropos for where we are now in Men's Mental Health Month. And on a show that he once did, he said, after he sold Sports Science, he went through a depression. And it took him a ton to get out of it. He found a therapist and he finally worked his way out of it. And he talked about what opening up about depression, could be like and the way that it felt for him. Obviously it was something that continued to haunt him and continued to plague him until the end of his life. Freddie T, I know, you have a lot of, strong opinions about why focusing on your mental health is good for men. When you hear something as sad as, John Brinkus passing, what are some of your thoughts or advice you could give to people who are battling and struggling with some of these things?
We fight a lot of those things on the inside. You mentioned it earlier when you was talking about Steph, right? You also mentioned communication. We have to talk about it. We have to, like we're bringing up here on this show, we know June. We have different months throughout the year. That's Women's Mental Health Month, Men's Mental Health Month, just Mental Health Month for all of us. I think every day should be a mental health awareness day. You have to be able to, encourage people to have those conversations because you never know what someone is going through within. Even though they can look so good on the outside, check on your happy friend. You say it all the time. And it's tough because you just, it's silent. You just don't know. But I will always do my best, as a friend, even just a regular person, even not being a friend, to ask someone how's their day going, and try my best to enlighten them and encourage them, even if they're going through the worst. This is, as much as I want to talk about it, it's always sort of hard to talk about, right? Because you try to find the right thing to say to try and help people, but I can say this, and I can tell you too, that I'm good. I'm not going through anything, but I do want to be there to help as many people as I can. That's it.
I would say with what, we did the show, and I appreciate y'all letting me open up about my father. And seeing others' grief made me open up more to communicate. People calling me to lean on me about Randy's passing made me talk more. Because, I wanted to be the tough dude, but now they're crying and they're talking about Randy. So now I'm going to talk about Randy back with you. And that gets to, the divorce when I was 10 years old. And now we're going with my sisters and with, my step siblings and different people. And it's going deeper and deeper and deeper. And it lifts that weight off. So to the point about communication, if you can find somebody to talk with them. I was forced recently to communicate more about it. And I do think it took a pressure off of me that I didn't know I had on me. And one thing, and I know we talked about this before, counting pockets. Don't say you can't be depressed if you're rich. Don't say you can't be depressed if you have nice cars, if you have a big house. Don't put anything financial or success or meritocracy based on depression. Because John Brinkus was a very successful person. It was something else in him. So I hate, that's my biggest pet peeve. Why is he depressed? He got millions. Obviously, the money wasn't what upset him.
John Brinkus, man, I got an opportunity to meet him. I was always like a huge sports science fan, right? Because I felt it always gave me a way to say I could play with people who were like more skilled or more athletic than me. And when the Super Bowl was in Houston, they did this episode of Sports Science and they let me do it. I had just retired, right? And the night before, my homeboy Kevin, y'all met him, he took me out to eat. So he took me out to eat. We drank a bottle of wine. Like, I get up in the morning. I didn't know what I was supposed to go do. They did all these things at NASA for the astronauts, right? So I'm running on a treadmill, but I got a harness on, and I'm jumping on a trampoline, but I got a harness on, all this stuff. But I ate good and drank good the night before, so I had to go throw up, right? So I had to run outside and go, and John was so nice to me. He's like, I know, RC, man. It's like, you're doing a lot, man. Thank you so much. I get it. Like, he was just so kind, and he was so sweet and so understanding, and so it does make you sad, but it also gives you sort of the visual of how the outside doesn't always match the inside. And recently there's been this quote from Robin Williams that has been floating around that says, people don't fake depression, they fake being okay, right? And so it lets you know, when I listen to it or when I read it, it looks like, or it feels like, it's like, okay, that means that just because people are telling you that they're all right doesn't mean that they aren't fighting this internal battle, right? But it also means that when they tell you something is wrong, something's really wrong, right? We can't say, oh, they got money, or oh, they have success, or oh, they have this. They are crying out to you. And when you think about a man doing that, that's not what we're taught to do, right? It's counterintuitive to everything I've learned about be tough, fight through it, be a man, right? And so when they actually say that to you, we have to listen. We have to know that this is a person that's saying they're struggling. They're asking to not be seen as a man, but to be seen as human, as a human who is dealing with something. And I think so many times for men, we realize, or we don't realize, I should say, that we're fighting a fight that toughness actually isn't the greatest weapon, right? It's vulnerability, it's openness. It's actually being, quote unquote, soft enough to ask for help. And so I think when people reach out to you, or when people tell you that there's something going on, we have to take those things extremely serious, man, because for a man to get there, that means he's tried everything else. And when you try everything else and nothing's working, especially for successful people who are used to winning, I think that's a depth of a low that's real difficult to deal with.
I just want to remind everybody, if you're feeling something heavy, just text 988, and hopefully you can get the help that you need. Just holler at us. We'll do our best.
It's a show.
Hey.
What's up, dog?
Boy, them boys long.
So he a defender, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, them boys long. It be crazy.
How else you gonna get wrong?
Man, I just tell you, man, the people look at them dudes out there with them 7-footers, be like, oh, he a little dude. Them NBA dudes don't be little.
Nah.
Oh, y'all bastards.
Especially this day and age. For
Yeah.
sure.
For sure.
But you know the game changes so much too. He'll be out there standing next to Wemby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course he a foot shorter.
They be like, these
crazy.
small.
Yeah.
What you love about the NO? You hit RC up for some spots to check out?
Not yet, man. It was different so far. I ain't really get to get the experience, man. I ain't really get it yet, so I was under the radar and I had a lot going on. So
That's your man right
for
there.
sure. Yeah,
I got it.
he told me.
I hit him up. Well, man, DeJounte Murray, man, welcome to the show. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I mean, you know that. Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor, and Ryan Clark, Pivot Fam. Thank you for pivoting with us. We were talking about it walking in, but I told you I had talked to Jamal.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, damn, bro, like, y'all really be hooping
Yeah.
in Seattle. And he was so excited that we were going to talk. And the first thing he says, he's like, yeah, man, that's the rose that grew from the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's so much tied into basketball there, but your story is a lot deeper. When you look back, man, at some of the things that you've been through, how do you think that shaped your I'm not partying, I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking perspective? Because you could have went the entire other way.
Well, first, before I answer that, I got to give y'all your flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I appreciate what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a voice. You know, it's important for, men, women, and most importantly, our youth. You know, they need positivity. So I see everything y'all do from y'all's careers, and, I just want to give y'all your flowers,
Man,
before we start. You know what I'm saying? So just had to do that. But nah, man, it's honestly, I still feel like I'm in a dream, man. Like I I haven't had the time to really just sit down and just realize like where I came from, knowing I got a long ways to go, but just where I'm at today. You know, I really don't know. Like, I really feel like I'm dreaming. I tell my boys, I tell my lady, even my daughter, my oldest, she's 7 now. So, you know, able to have conversations with her. It's a deep story, man. Like, it's real deep, and I'm trying to heal from it. And when I mean I'm trying to heal from it, like, that's why I told you before, like, I don't really do interviews, man. Like, I gotta heal. I gotta find myself completely. I gotta, you know, be at peace with myself, with the stuff that I was around, the stuff I was involved with. To sum it up a little bit, obviously we'll get going, but to sum it up a little bit, like, you know, everybody I grew up with is dead or in prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, basketball was my only way, like, straight up. Like, basketball. Like, I talk to my brothers in prison every day, whether it's on the app or, you know, answering phones. I'm going to visit my brother in prison in 4 or 5 days. It's unbelievable. But for me, I just know as a kid, for myself, I looked up to the drug dealers, the gang members. Now I get to watch my kids, my nieces, nephews, little cousins say, you know, we want to be like you.
Yeah.
And that, like, it damn near make me shed a tear, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew how hard it was for all of us. And I feel like that was our sacrifice, you know, so they could live, you know what I'm saying? And be able to do the right things and know the right things, because all we knew was the wrong things. You know, majority of it just, you know, me trying to heal from it, you know? You know, that's really it. But honestly, I feel like I'm in a dream, man. This don't feel real at all.
I do want to tell you, you know, first off, thank you for what you said, but that's been the best thing about this show.
Yeah.
And it's not very often that people sit down and the first thing they say is that they do understand they need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we talk about it in our community enough. I don't think we talk about it as Black men enough. And there are gonna be some people, man, who watch this and learn what you went through and hear you say, nah, I'm still healing from it, that get some sort of comfort from that, man. So I appreciate you sharing that right off of the back, unprompted, for real.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We heard the stories, the homelessness, juvenile, all that stuff, bruh. Just take us through your side of it, because we haven't heard it from your side.
Yeah.
And you hear the story, so take it through your side. But like you're saying, what are you healing from? That's the craziest part, is that you hear these little snippets, but you're not supposed to be where you are.
Mm-hmm.
What did you have to go through to make that thought, like you just said, it's surreal to you? What did you have to go through to get where you are?
Just starting, like, you gotta understand, for me, like, the cameras had always been for me to, like, how can I find peace with what I had to go through, you know, what I've done. And it's never been a knock to, like, I don't want to do interviews. I feel like that ain't nothing wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, real life matters, you know? We can hop on Instagram and Twitters and just social media in general and forget about real life. For me, it's always been real life for me from day one. You know, before I was blessed to be in a position I am, you know, all the way back to the struggle, it was always real life, survival mode. As a kid, I grew up around my grandma. You know, my mom did a lot of prison time, so, you know, my dad was on and off. I never knew what it felt like to have a mom and dad, you know, in the same household. And it just was rocky for me. This is something new that I'm gonna say, like, my uncles, I love my uncles, you know, on both sides, but mainly, you know, the ones that was there, I was with around a lot, was my mom's brothers, whether it was younger or older. And, you know, they stepped up. They was teenagers. And they seen the pain I was dealing with, you know, at 3, 4 years old, knowing what drugs were, knowing that my mom was in prison. You know, you couldn't tell me she was on vacation, none of that. Like, I knew my mom was in prison. I'll go visit my mom in prison. I'll cry myself why I couldn't leave the prison after visiting her. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor for years, not having clothes, you know, love my grandma to death, you know, and I can only imagine how hard it was for her. You know, she had her own children, but she took in a lot of her grandchildren. And it's just like, I think the taking in for me was enough. Now I'm mature, older, and going back in those times, you know, you could fall into the, oh, I didn't get this, and I didn't get these shoes, and she kept a roof over my head. You know, we was Section 8 living, whether it was here, there. She made sure I was there and I wasn't in child custody because that was the route I was going. And it takes a real woman, you know, to stand up and say, nah, I'm gonna take that responsibility. For me, it was just tough, always. And, you know, I tell the story of my uncle, man. Like, there was a time where I was with my uncle, always with my uncle. His name's Ruben. Even though I'm the one that's famous, rich, like, he's the king of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's always gave his all. He sacrificed his life, going to college, everything, just for us. You know what I'm saying? The whole family. And, you know, I just remember a moment. I was about, 7, 8 years old, and I was in the car with him and all his partners. And we end up just driving. We going to my cousin's house, and a real situation happened. And, you know, we got pulled over, and there was about 8 guns drawn on us. And just from that moment, I remember that moment, and that moment is gonna get to make you guys understand where I'm going, you know, and the pattern I'm going. But that moment was like, it was a real moment for me, you know, as a 8-year-old sitting in that front seat with him and not knowing what's going on. And I think just from that moment, it happened to be crazy that we had a cousin that was in the car, or the other car, you know, that ended up getting out, stopping, like, nah, these are my cousins, these are my cousins. And if it wasn't for that moment, like, I wouldn't be sitting here with y'all. An 8-year-old would have got killed in a crossfire or something we had nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, from that moment on, it kind of opened my eyes as an 8-year-old, like, damn, this is what's going on outside of the house, you know, because we grew up in a neighborhood in the house. We never really had cars and none of that stuff to move around. It was walking and getting on the bus. So, you know, for me, it was always a certain distance that we went. That was like, you know, one of the real moments for me, you know, an 8-year-old seeing that. And then from that moment, I'm like, I'll never be in that situation again. Like, I'm gonna forever protect myself, you know, and even though we were protected by God, and I'm here to tell this story, and this is the first time I ever told the story. I ain't even told my uncle how that made me feel. Years later, I was 8 years old, I'm 28, that's 20 years ago. He don't even know how I really feel about that. You know what I'm saying? And all we was, the negativity was the stuff that we had no choice. There wasn't no, okay, you go this way, it's the right way. Nah, it's the negative stuff, you know, you sell drugs, you gonna gangbang, you know what I'm saying? You gonna fight to survive. You lose a fight, you gonna fight again till you win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so for me, like, from that moment, I don't know what it was, it went a whole nother route for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was what we like to call your pivot. But earlier, you gave us our flowers for being what we are as a show. I want to give you your flowers. We recently had Trent Sheldon on, and he said all of those decisions start with you, right? So I want to give you your flowers for making the choice to leave that behind and do better for your life. Now you're in a position where you can do better for your children and allow them to see something different, and create legacy with the Murray last name. So shout out to you first and foremost. But with our show, we always try to project positivity and find a way to give back in whatever capacity. What were some of the influences that led you to be in the street or to experience that gang life? So some of those influences, and how could we use your story and our platform to try and circumvent, you know, for the next generation to help them avoid those potential outcomes?
And you in a certain environment, like, sometimes, as bad as it sounds, it's like the only influence is what's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the influence in front of me was the drug dealers, the gang members. That was what it was for me. But also, for my story, you know, the influence people that helped me, it was the judge. It was the prosecutors. It was my lawyers. It was the community centers. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had uncles that were still fighting for me. Like, I caught my first case at 11 years old, a robbery one with a firearm, 11 years old. I had my sister call the school and tell them to call and act like my mom. True story. Call and act like mom. My sister's in 8th grade. I'm in 6th grade. Told my sister, because I wasn't focused on school. I'm in a whole nother mind state. Like, school's not getting me money. School's not helping get the things that I want. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't taught the importance of school.
Right.
So for me, like, I'm telling my sister, call the school, you know, tell them that I got an appointment or something. My older sister called. And that happened to end up being a lesson for me. That happened to being something really bad. I got in a situation, and that situation kind of blessed me at that time, even though I had some road bumps past that. But that specifically is like what turned it up, because I was just in a survival mode to get money, and I was 10 toes in it.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to play in it and out of it. So when you're in the streets, there's no such thing as going to school and being in the streets. There's no such thing. It's impossible. Me right now, I made it. I'm past that.
Right.
There's no such thing as being a professional, a gentleman, a father, and being in the streets. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I joke all the time, like, with my boys, like, man, I love that I live in the suburbs. I'm in a gated community. You would never hear me talk about money, fame, clothes, materialistic things. Like,
Right.
I live in a gated community, and my children go to a private school.
Right.
That's unheard of for DeJounte Murray and where he come from. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just to pivot back to, you know, your question was, you know, my influence was I did have a lot of people that were trying to show me they care. Like the prosecutor, he told me to stay. They wasn't trying to give me all this time. I'm 11 years old. I don't know this is my first time in juvenile. I don't know what's going on. Did the crime, I'm like, okay, I'm about to do whatever time it is. I could have had a chance to telling all my people that was there. But I was so invested into what I was doing, I knew I couldn't tell. I just happened to get caught. The other 3 didn't get caught. And then I didn't say their name. But that just goes back to I was forced to grow up at a young age. No 11-year-old should live that life. No 11-year-old should have to make those decisions. The decision is, I got homework today.
Right.
I got school today. I got basketball, football practice today. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's always been people that care about me, but I think what saved me is I think those people seen something in me, because I got caught up in the law after that, but they seen something in me. You know, and one thing about it, I've been taking accountability since I was 11 years old. 11 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Growing quick.
Yeah, 11 years old. I was paying my own phone bill, 11 years old. I had my own money, 11 years old. So when it came to hard times, my life was hard times. So it's like getting in trouble with the law or this or fights, whatever like that. It is what it is.
What message would you have for your 11-year-old self?
I wish I had a mom and a dad, you know, at that time to guide me in the right way. I got children, man. Like, it's beautiful to be able to be a father. No, it's beautiful, like, to be able to show them right from wrong, keep them away from negativity, but also teach them discipline, you know what I'm saying, and all these different things. You know, so it's like I've never been the guy to go back to tell my younger self anything. Kids are innocent. Kids are not asked to be in this world at all. You know what I'm saying? They're innocent. Every single kid across the world is innocent. So it's like, what can I go back and really tell myself? You know, that was my environment. I was a product of my environment.
Right.
My kids are a product of an environment that, you know, allows them to live in, you know, a big house, go to private school, have chef, have nanny. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the odds for them is, you know, they got a pretty good odds of, you know, doing the right thing compared to, you know, 11-year-old DeJounte Murray.
Brother, the chef, the nanny is funny. I had another question. I'm gonna ask this one though, because we all have that. We're blessed.
For sure.
And you come from the rose out of concrete type thing. Then now you have these trust fund babies. How tough is that? Like, cause you want them to be tough. I got a 13-year-old and I'm like, man, nah, you gotta, somebody say something slimy, you gotta.
Yeah.
No, you in private school. It ain't like that no more. Like the transition of what you teach your kids from how you grew up and what you just explained, like, how do you navigate that? Because your kids is way different than how you were.
For sure. Man, it's like 50-50. And what I mean by that is, it's like a gift and a curse with it, man. The gift is they won't ever go through what I went through. The curse of it is this world's so sick, you know what I'm saying? There's people that poison these kids' brains with all type of things, you know? Like, I got a 7-year-old, and I never told my 7-year-old I was rich. She don't live with me. I get her a lot, you know what I'm saying? But she's home in Seattle, and I've never wanted to tell her none of that. I wanted her to just catch on to herself to see, oh, my dad plays basketball. My dad plays in NBA. Like, I wanted her to just figure out herself, Instead of just, hey, daddy's in the NBA, hey, daddy's rich. Because that stuff don't mean nothing to me like it means to other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. But it's like at the same time for her, when she told me that, it kind of hurt me because I know it came from, you know, somebody that it wasn't a good place. So it's like, when I mean the curse of it is like, they gonna go through something I never went through. Cause I went through not having money. I lived in house, apartment, hotel, here, you know what I'm saying? Car, like, they won't never experience that. And so their experience is gonna teach me too. But at the same time it goes back to the toughness part, you know? We play around and I try to teach them, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever go out and start nothing. But don't ever turn down defending yourself. You defend yourself no matter where it's at, however it is, whatever it is, you defend yourself. But you don't start problems. It's kind of like I tell my brothers and all them, like, why do people get praised for being a good person? Everybody should be a good person. You should be a good person. If somebody harm you, that's when you turn into another person. But it's appropriate that you harm me, I could defend myself.
Yeah.
I don't wake up saying, oh, I hope the world does this today or do that, or I hope such and such don't get this blessing or get that blessing. Like, I wake up to go get it myself first, but at the same time, my mentality and how I feel is like, I want everybody to shine. I want everybody to eat.
But if you act crazy,
you get what I'm saying? Like,
I need to match that energy.
but that's I keep myself away from a lot of those situations. But stuff happens. Anytime, any place, anything can happen. Yeah. But I don't come off as a person that think I'm tougher than you, I'm better than you. I'm equal than everybody in this room, everybody in this world. Just because I got more, you got less, I'm not better than you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, more of it, just making sure they know, like, you're not better than nobody. My kids know they're not better than nobody. I don't care where we go, private planes we go, here, Disney World.
I seen the private planes.
Yeah, wherever they get to do, whatever they get to do, they know you're not better than nobody.
You're different.
You're blessed.
You travel, you're blessed. You travel blessed.
Yes,
that's what
blessed.
you teach your babies.
God blessed us. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he don't bless other people. This is the blessing he gave us.
Yeah.
And they understand that. So it's gonna be a challenge. I got 2 girls. And then my lady, you know, she has a son, and that's like my son. You know what I'm saying? And the thing for me is the girls. Like, with the boys, it's I feel like it ain't gonna be easy, but it's a
different conversation.
Yeah,
you can smack that
girls,
chest. You can hit that.
With the girls, man, it's gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be tough, but my life been tough. My life full of challenges every single day, so I'm excited for it. I'm up for the challenge, you know? I just want to make sure the main thing is the main thing, and you're not better than nobody, you're equal to everybody, and you got to work for everything, and they understand that.
My oldest came home, she was in private school. She came home when we were in Pittsburgh, and I was playing for the Steelers. She walks in the door, slams down her backpack. She said, "Why y'all ain't tell me we was rich?" Right? But it was the same thing. The place it came from, they were making fun of her. Mm-hmm. They were telling her that she was different in a way, and not different in the sense that made her good or that she was blessed, but that you behave this way because you have this or because you have that. And we had never had that conversation because I, like you, I understood that was God's blessing, but it made me no different than the way I grew up. Mm-hmm. And the conversation is always difficult and me and Coach Tomlin have it all the time. How do I teach my kids the lessons that I learned without them going through the adversities I went through?
Yeah.
And the answer is you actually can't.
You can't.
Right? And you can't protect them from the different things they'll experience outside of you. The question I have for you is, you spoke about healing, right? And I know, you log in the morning and you send your messages to your family and your friends that are in penitentiaries. How have you dealt with any survivor's remorse or guilt being the one that made it?
Every day. Every day. Just talking to them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know what we've done. I know what we was involved in. And like I said, accountability's been, that's me, accountability. That's it and that's all. I don't have time to point fingers it's accountability. That's the only way you're able to grow. You make mistakes. If you can't take the accountability for it, you'll never grow. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. So it's just like, for me, it hurts me, you know, because my partners ain't in jail for a year, 5 years, 10 years. We talking about dudes in there 20, 40, 60, 80.
Damn.
Now this is real, you know? This is real. And it's just like, it's me messaging them every day or answering their phone calls. That had nothing to do with guilt. I love you. I love you. Don't never get it twisted, because you behind them walls and no telling what they going through mentally, physically. Damn, do he still love me? Did he forget about me? And if you know me, you know me. And a lot of my boys know me. You know, a lot of them know me. They know my heart since I was a kid. I was the baby that was in front. I've never played behind nobody. I never followed nobody. But I never harmed nobody unless you harm me. You know what I'm saying? So I was respected because of just who I was as a person. And my hustle and ambitions. I never wanted nothing from him, from you, from him. You know what I'm saying? It was, I'm gonna get it my own self. And it's just like, for me, it hurts me. Sometimes I go days where I don't even want to answer the phone to talk to them because of the guilt. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like, damn, they're in prison. Or the other ones are dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? And why they ain't me? What makes me so different than them? We was doing the same things. Why me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did God, all the time, why did God choose me? Why? Because I know what I was involved with. You feel what I'm saying? Like, There's a reason why I move how I move, man. There's a reason why I don't play around. I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I know what I want. I got blessed with something that sounds impossible, knowing what I was involved in.
So when did it click then, right? Because, you know, basketball, like many professional sports, is something that chooses you and then you get to go chase it, right? And you built yourself from all of these things we've already talked about into an all-star. That takes effort, that takes discipline, that takes dedication. When was it that all of these things that you were doing that you say could very well leave you dead or behind bars, when did it switch to a different drive and a different dream?
First of all, I love basketball.
Yeah.
I love basketball with a passion. I played in the rain. I bought up socks and shot in the laundry basket. I did the hangers in the door. And this is something I don't never gotta say. I don't gotta tell my story. In the whole state of Washington that know me, family, friends, they'll be able to tell my story without me ever telling the story. So for me, like, I've always said this, I have a problem with this now. I love the game so much and don't care about what it gives me. As far as the materialistic things, the money, the fame, all that, I don't care about that. I love the game. I'm that kid that loves the game. At heart, I love it. I love the process of it. Like, I love it. So for me, the switch was, I've always been good in basketball. If I wasn't good in basketball, I wouldn't be sitting on this couch.
Yeah.
I didn't take school serious. I didn't enter a classroom after 8th grade until I got to University of Washington. Yeah, I didn't go to high school.
Run that back. What? You didn't go into a classroom?
I wasn't in the classroom in high school.
For 4 years?
They had to homeschool me to get me away from my neighborhood. You have Rainier Beach High School. Jamal would tell you. You have Rainier Beach High School. Across the street is the block where I'm from. So I never touched the classroom. If I was gonna be able to reach my full potential in just basketball, whatever it was, but it was basketball, keeping it real, I had to move away. I had to move away. Like, people don't understand, man, because I'm not a guy that run my mouth. I don't need to tell these different stories, or I'm trying to heal. So it's not cool for me to get on Instagram and post things I had or what I was doing. I was hood rich at 14 years old.
Bro, you ain't snitching on nobody.
No, seriously.
Listen, I need to hear this process. This sounds crazy.
What we call this, the pivot, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pivot to everything. I respect y'all, that's why I'm here. You feel what I'm saying? I don't like interviews. I'm healing, I promise you, I mean that. I don't smoke or drink, I don't know how. The shit I go through mentally, I don't know how. I'm just strong. I'm strong up there. There's nothing that would make me go do a drug or push some alcohol. No. And I don't know how.
DeJounte, so I was talking about this earlier, right? Like, we all grew up around hood dudes. You know what I'm saying? And to me, they fell into two different sections, right? There was the hood dude that you knew was slimy, right? He had no code. He didn't care about anybody but himself. He lied. He'll still come in your house and steal for you, right? And then there was the other one who did what he had to do based on his circumstances, but he took care of people. And he was honest. And what I mean by honest was, if you asked him something, he told you the truth, whether he did wrong or he did right, right? And if he said he was gonna do it, he was gonna do it. Because he was confident enough that if he wasn't gonna do it, he felt comfortable saying it. You seem to me like that whatever you present, that's what you're going to be. When you're growing up and this chaos is all around you, like you said, you hood rich at 14, you're not touching a classroom. How do you develop a code that turns you into a leader?
I was a born leader. I didn't turn into a leader overnight. Every man in prison, rest in peace to my ones that, you know, are now no longer with us. The ones that are still with us, my mama, they'll tell you I've never followed nobody. That's why I was respected by the older dudes. They respected me because they call it front line. I was front line. I didn't make excuses. It wasn't I'm 13, 14. But most importantly, I never followed nobody. And that's no knock to nobody. I never followed nobody. Anything that I did in my life is because I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah, I heard you say one time that you don't really go back and forth with people. You don't really talk. Because you said, like, I'm really about that, right? And you said most people that do what I do, they aren't, right? They're talking for show, right? They want it to be that I want to make you believe this is who I am.
They need approval.
Why don't you need the approval?
They need approval. Because when you went through what I went through, there's nothing to celebrate about that. There's no image that you're trying to get across to the next person. That you were that or you wasn't that.
Yeah.
And as you get older and you mature, because I was a kid, that was my environment. I had to go through it to get to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm mature, I'm grown now, I'm a gentleman, I'm a father. I look back at all of it. There's nothing cool about it. I'm hurt from all of it. I have real trauma and pain inside of me from all of that.
How does that present in your life then? The trauma, the pain?
It's there, you know what I'm saying? For me, the best thing to cope with it is, like I said, is knowing my purpose, my children, and just knowing how blessed I am. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really tried the mental health stuff with other people. It's just tough when you were so deep into the things I was deep into. Only time will tell. There ain't no timetable. You just don't know, and that's the messed up part about it. So there's days where I'm hurt a lot inside. I'm just so hurt. You know what I'm saying? I break down and cry in the shower, in the car. I could be listening to music.
How do you, like, as a natural leader, like, as you're talking and all you've been through, athletic, I won't even say failure, bro, but turmoil. Like, you go to San Antonio, then your ass in Austin, then you get traded. And, like, how do you deal with that? Like, mentally knowing, like you're saying, like, your personality is a dog, you know, that man. But then the world is telling you something else. The basketball world is telling you something else. How do you deal with those situations where life's not going the way you thought it would go, and now you have to pivot, as we're using a lot. You have to deal with that, but like your personality, even just listening to you talk is like, bro, I'm that guy. Then somebody tells you, well, you really ain't that guy.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm still gonna get up 8 a.m. every morning, go to the gym, handle my business, be a father. Work out again after this interview. It's okay. People are gonna like you, people are not gonna like you. It's okay. It's okay. I love it.
But you got an ego.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. We all do.
Yep.
But at the same time, that comes where what do you care about? Because why would I care about the guy that's in Alaska right now messaged me saying I suck. This shit's so real. I had my own father when I got hurt text me because me and him ain't cool that somebody else was taking my spot when I was in San Antonio. No, this shit real. There's a reason why I don't get on these cameras, man. This shit real.
Yeah.
This shit is real. It's nothing to play with. It's not a joke. I'm healing. Like, I'm trying to heal. I really am. My kids need me. The youth need me. You know what I'm saying? I try to tap in with the youth, as much people as I can. So it's like, for me, the answer to your question is, people gonna like you or they not gonna like you. I might go back with somebody on Instagram to give them what they want, like a person comment or something or DM you, and I just messing them back. Like, it's all good, it's all love. Yeah. You know, kindness kill a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's my approach too, bro.
I have a question for you. When a man's in and out of your life, you work to get to this place. I don't know if it was when you tore your ACL in San Antonio or what. And your father, your biological father, messages you, and it's like, yeah, somebody's gonna go get your spot. What is your response to that?
I was hurt because I love him, and I know he loved me. Like, more of it, I know he loved me, straight up. We might not have the best relationship, and I never called him a deadbeat. He know I love him, you know, at the end of the day. But I don't know what make a father say that. You know, just because we've been having going on for years, before I even made it to college, just back and forth, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so I remember it like yesterday. There was something in me that hurt, but there's something in me like life goes on. You gonna stay in this house and be hurt, or you gonna be hurt at that, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it is what it is. I can't control how you feel. I can't control how you feel. I can't. That's life. People got their opinions, people feel how they feel, you know what I'm saying? That shit turned me up though. I'm crazy too when it comes to my work. I love my work, I love it. So things like that is like, oh, okay, bet. Now, not only this person I don't know, like a stranger, shit, I gotta prove my dad wrong, bet. I tore my ACL, became an all-star. He came to the all-star game. I gotta swallow that pill, or does he?
I think it's safe to say he swallowed that pill, and I'm not sure if he tried to use it as a form of like reverse psychology to kind of motivate you to not slack up, but whatever it was, you handled your business.
For sure.
But that brings me to your time in San Antonio, because not too long ago, you don't play for the Spurs, but you showed up at Pop's press conference, which I thought was just one of the most honorable things to do. What sort of influence was Pop on you, like getting drafted to San Antonio, right? God puts us in places that we can only handle what he gives us. If you had gone somewhere else with a different coach, who knows what your career would have turned into.
He was like the father figure I was missing, consistent, because I show up to the gym every day. We got, you know, you guys know how the professional game work, man. You on planes, you on buses, you always together. So for me, it was everything was happening just back to back. And it was like connecting the dots, and it was just like the right timing for everything. Knowing what I was going through, knowing I'm going into this new world, this professional world that I have no clue about, because I come from just a kid from the south of Seattle, and that's all I know. I don't know this corporate stuff. I don't know this business stuff. So getting to be around him, a leader that's teaching me how to be a man, how to be a professional, how to go about your work, how do you treat people. You are who you only treat people, how you treat people.
Right.
You treat people like an asshole, you're an asshole.
Yep.
You treat people good, I mean, you're a good person. You know what I'm saying? So for me, he was like a father figure. It's so many stories. If he was able to come sit here and talk, he'd tell you he's never had a player come in his office that cried on his shoulder from how many murders he had to deal with back home in Seattle, how many funerals I had to pay for. It was so crazy. A lot of my people don't even know this, from family, friends in the penitentiary. Pop didn't want me to go to Seattle. When I first got drafted, I wouldn't go to Seattle. And that was a man that cared about me. That was a man that wanted me to reach my full potential in life first, but then as a basketball player. He's so real, he tried to move my mom to San Antonio with his own money after she got shot. My mom was shot in the leg my rookie year. He called her himself without me knowing until after the fact. We want to move you here. No, not with his money, with my money. That sound like a dude that cared about me and loved me, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because my mom
100%.
got shot at that time. You should know my mentality without me saying it.
Yeah.
Right. Damn.
How'd you find out that Pop called your mom?
He eventually told me. You know, he eventually told me.
How'd you feel when, I mean, he's the greatest basketball coach of our time. He says, look, it's bigger than basketball. Your mom got shot. I understand who you are and what that means to you. I want to bring her here, and I wanted to do it on me, not on you.
When he told me, it was really like, because in that time, I went from starting in high school and starting in college. Now I'm not playing, but I understand it though. Like, a lot of these guys come to the league, young guys, they want it overnight. I didn't want it overnight. I just need to understand. Let me know. You know, give me the plan, what it is, whatever, and I'm gonna go accomplish it. Like, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it doesn't matter what I have to do. You know, so for me, I was just blessed to go around all these great people. But for him specifically, when he told me that, it was simple. Oh, this dude care about me. Because I'm a fan just like everybody else is a fan.
Yeah.
This is Greg Popovich. He won 5 championships. How many players have he just helped non-basketball? It's just these conversations. This the hug, like, I love you, I care about you. So to see him tell my mother, you know, those things, and even him telling me, I just did that because I care about you, I care about her, and I know what bringing your mom to San Antonio where she's safe and what that would do for you mentally. Just mentally. We didn't get to the basketball part. That's what I took from that. He cared about me, he loved me with his actions, not with his words.
Yeah.
Bro, it's a thing we all go through. You forgot where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
And you came from some shit. You came from some tough times.
I hear it all the time. I
But-
hear it all the time.
But what do you hear? Like, what would you tell a guy? Because I've even heard that. Like, Decatur, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
My kids, we went back years ago, and they were like, Daddy, we want to see the project you grew up in. I was like, we don't need to go back to that shit.
No.
I don't want you to see
what?
that. But
sure.
what would you tell the people that say, oh, you forget what you got from? No, I tell my kid, I was like, Daddy worked hard to get you out of this. I don't even want you to see that.
Yeah.
But what would you tell, just listen to your story, what would you tell people that feel that way, like you forgot where you came from, you gave up on the hood and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got it. That's my thing. What do you say to them?
Everybody that know me, like, you didn't just see me get drafted and you see me on TV or you see me on the internet. Every person that know me know that I got everything out of the mud on myself, by myself. So I never really had the problems of, you changed on us. Remember I did this for you? Remember I did that for you? I had dudes say, you want this? Whatever it is. It could be 50 cash, it could be car. I don't want it. Everybody know that I've got everything out of the mud. I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? But also, at the same time, I have a heart of a lion. Everything I receive, I want to give back times 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So for me is, I always hear it through, like,
Outside people.
yeah, outside, not even outside people. Like, I heard it, I got a real story for you. I landed back home recently, right? And this is probably like a couple weeks ago. I landed back, I'll be in and out, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I land back home, and one of my cousins, love him to death. You know, he come from the neighborhood I come from. He probably a year older than me. And he calls me and he's like, Cuddy, man, motherfuckers really be haters. I'm like, yeah, I know. Well, what happened? What happened? Man, I was in the hood and such was saying, man, why bro don't do this for me? Why bro don't do this for us? Why bro don't do that for us? So you know what I told my cousin? Why are you calling me, telling me that? Why didn't you check that to where you didn't even have to call me to tell me that?
Why are they so comfortable to talk about me in front of you?
100%. I love my cousin to death. I love him. unconditionally. I'm literally getting off the plane. I'm on the, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's another thing. I'm gonna pick up. I'm not that dude that I'm better than you or I'm richer than you. Nah, I ain't answering my phone. If I'm not in the gym with my kids or in the air, like, I'm gonna pick the phone up, man. I wanna talk to my people. I may not be able to talk to you tomorrow. The thing for me was that.
Yeah.
Why you ain't check him? Why you ain't check him? Why are you calling me telling me this?
Man.
Why is, like he just said, like Ryan said, why is he comfortable saying that around you?
Does that tighten the circle?
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
so for me, it's, a lot of people know I unchanged. I don't gotta glorify what I do.
Yeah.
I don't have to glorify my giving back. I tell my people all the time, I'm sick and tired of paying for lawyers, bail money, funerals.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
tired of it. Go build a business. Go finish school and build a business and come to me with a plan, and I'll support that before I bail you out of jail.
There's a story
You know what
that
I'm
you bought dozens of houses.
I bought dozens of houses.
They said you bought a bunch of people's houses.
Man, they lying to you. Where'd you get that
Okay,
from?
I just saw it on the internet.
Let's
We
talk
was looking
about it.
up.
Nah, I love it. Let's talk about it.
Okay, they said
I
you
ain't-
were watching out for everybody, and I was gonna tell you, even off air, like as a man, like, bro, you can't buy everybody's house, bro.
That's why you asked me, though.
Yeah.
Instead of assuming.
Yeah.
I could read something about you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you man to man, look you in your eyes. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
12 houses?
They said you bought a dozen houses for your family. Saw it on
A
something.
lot of houses.
That's a lot of, 2 houses, a lot of houses.
DeJounte, do you make friends? Like,
I
And-
don't.
I can tell.
I don't. I got brothers. Like they not my friends. If you get allowed around my personal space, you more than a friend to me. Like you family. Just because we might not have the same blood, like blood don't make you family. It just doesn't for me. So I really don't. I've been failed so much just in life. You know, it's another thing. You keep your guard up. You know, but it's okay to have friends. Like it's hard. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I think that comes in the process of the healing part, trying to heal, trying to get a bigger understanding, because I've been in survival mode my whole life. Even where I'm at now, it's still, I'm blessed, but it's just still survival. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you find joy, though, right? Like, pure joy, where if I said, hey, DeJounte, man, if you wake up tomorrow and life could be perfect, where would you go or what would you do to find joy? Would you know what that was?
I mean, joy is seeing the kids run around. Seeing the kids run around, man, like that's joy. Like going to the gym, that's joy. The gym's my club. Anybody that know me, they know I get in the gym and I blast the music. That's my club. I was in the club at 12, 13 years old, 21 and over clubs at 12 and 13 years old. You think I want a club now when I've already did that? No way. I have no interest. Because I know my purpose, I know what I want. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, the gym, that's my joy, that's my club. It really is. I love bowling. I'll take my family bowling. I love bowling. You know, my girl got me expanding to, you know, do more things, but I had to even break it down to her, you know, just who I am. Like, she's still learning who I am, what I've been through, what I go through. Because it ain't just vanished and it's away. Like, I could make it look good because, like I said, accountability. If you follow the pattern, I take accountability. I won't never put this burden on nobody around me. So there's a lot of things that, you know, I get joy from, but that joy is temporary.
So you went to Atlanta, but you had your career highs in Atlanta.
Yeah, career
Before you went
Atlanta.
over.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that also explains it, because he would turn up in the A. You avoiding the club in Atlanta, you can focus on your career highs, which was what you did.
My boys was there. My boys, they was outside.
But you was
know?
chilling.
100%.
You was tapped in the show.
It doesn't matter where I'm going. You could put me anywhere. You could put the turn up next door to my house or the next condo down the hall. Like, I'm not gonna get nothing out of it, man. People that really go turn up and go out and have fun, what you doing? You looking for a girl, or you a girl, you looking for a man? Or you drinking, or you smoking?
All that sounds fun to me.
Which is cool though. Nah, it's cool. Nah, I tell my boys, I tell my brothers all the time, man, like y'all have fun. I tell my teammates, my NBA teammates be tripping. I got a real story this past year before I got hurt. We played at Atlanta, my first game back in Atlanta. I told my teammates was doing, you know, a little something. I said, the only way I go is if we win. And I'm just showing my face to support y'all. Like, yo, what up? Shake hands. Woo, woo, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
We lost. I stayed in the Four Seasons Hotel.
You could walk in Magic City and leave 3 minutes later?
I've been in Magic City, picked my food up in the front, and I left in 3 minutes.
You gotta sit down for 15 minutes. It's just.
My whole time in Atlanta, I never went in Magic City. Seriously.
Really?
I went one time when I was with the Spurs. One time. It was in Atlanta, right before the trade deadline. We went, everybody went, it was cool. I lived in Atlanta, never went in Magic City and sat, got dances, threw money. No.
So you never had the lemon pepper lose?
Absolutely. You ain't heard what I said?
He said you walked in.
I walked in, and I was standing at that booth waiting for my lemon peppers. You better believe it.
But bro, I gotta ask a follow-up about RC's thing. Like, what is your enjoyment? You don't seem like you have fun. Do you fish? Do you golf? You don't seem like you have fun. You seem like you're trying to prove the world wrong.
It's not even, I don't think prove the world wrong. I think when you know, like, how I was judged coming into this business, the NBA, he was a gang member, his family gang members, and they ghetto, and this is real shit that was said about me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, the odds is against me. Like, they ain't even saying the good I did to finish to graduate high school, pass the ACT test on myself, go to college, keep a high enough GPA to play, and never get in trouble, and they not praising me, none of that. They talking about the little 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old that was just a product of his environment. That stuck with me like, damn, if I get into anything, they throwing me out in 2.5 seconds.
Like, wait.
And I worked too hard, man. I came too far to just come this far. So I have fun, bro. I do. I love the gym. I love my family. Like, we got pool. We got stuff I never imagined. You know what I'm saying? I could play with their toys with them. We go watch movies. We can go, you know, I'm trying to heal. I'm 28 years old. You feel me? I've been doing this on my own. I ain't had that person that guided me for real. I've been doing this on my own since I was 11. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to expand and explore, you know what I'm saying?
His type of fun is new to colonies, so ignore him. Coming off your 2 best seasons, and to be going to a new city, new team, 31 games in, fracture hand, Achilles. How frustrating must that have been?
This is probably my worst experience in the NBA. This is my worst experience in the NBA. Nothing but love for New Orleans. We talking about the city, even the organization. I don't badmouth nobody. This is just my experience. This is what DeJounte go through. And that trade, it wasn't even supposed to happen. Like, that wasn't even the thing. Like, last summer, I was here last summer working out. In Atlanta, you know, knew me and Trae Young, you know, that was, you know, they should never did that. And they were figuring out what they were doing, you know, they traded me. But that wasn't the team we were talking to. That wasn't even an option. It happened. I'm a competitor. So when it happened, I'm like, damn, I'm back in the driver's seat like I was in San Antonio. When I say that, I'm the point guard. I get to make the decisions for everybody around this room. I get to help you get another contract, help you. Right. I'd rather see y'all go to the All-Star game before me. That's just who I am. That's my mentality. That's my heart. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at first I'm shocked about the trade. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I'm going to New Orleans. I remember when Hurricane Katrina happened, and I was like, man, I'll never go there. Straight up, like, this is a true story. And it happened, so it's like, what you gonna do about it? You know, and moving's never easy for any professional, any person in life, you know? You got a family at that. If I was by myself, it would be smooth. We got kids, my lady, you know, my brother's coming with me, so it's a transition that we gotta do together. And when I say my experience, man, it was bad, man. I get to New Orleans, you know, training camp's good, like I feel healthy, everything's good, and I'm excited about what's about to happen as far as our roster and how camp went, and everything went downhill from that moment. My mom had a stroke 7 days before the first game. I leave, I go back to Seattle, I'm with her, she wake up out of ICU, she gets in the room, and We watching I remember yesterday, we watching the WNBA finals. She's just crying, and she's crying because I'm right there by her side, and she's just crying, and she can't really talk. So I'm like, damn, why you, what's going on? You good? Like, you gonna be good. You good? I'm right here. We all here. Family here. She pointing at basketball, like.
You need to go play.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these is women playing. No disrespect. Like, I'm one of the biggest fans of WNBA. She's looking like.
Right.
So I'm like, damn. I'm like, you want me to go play? She's like, yeah, go play. She's just pointing. I go play. I go back. I ain't played basketball my whole time up in Seattle. You know, it was about 12, 13 days I was up there just with her every day. I'm in the hospital with her. Not even thinking about basketball. It's my mom's life. I never seen my mom. She's in ICU. This shit is real. You know, I go back to New Orleans literally a day before the first game without practicing anything. I go play because not only my mom wanted me to go play, there was that guilt that you talk about.
Yep.
This team traded for me, the point guard, to run the show, keep everything organized. I got something to prove to them. Back what you said, you feel like you got to prove. Shit all pivot to the same. It all comes to the pot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I get there and everything's great. I break my hand first game.
Yep.
And I'm out. And the shit that hurt me was that I felt like that was God saying, no, you got to be with her. Like, she wanted you to go there, but nah, you broke your hand because you got to go rehab and be with her.
Right.
She needs you more than this game needs you. You know, I go back with her, and my mom was out of ICU and made it to a rehab center, and then she went backwards. She had to get rushed back to ICU. So I'm back in Seattle, not knowing what's about to happen, and just dealing with this. She recovers. Thank God to this day, she's doing better. She can do, you know, better than what she is, but she's better. She's been out of the hospital. And from that moment, I go back, and, you know, the times when I get back, you know, I made it important to them. New Orleans, like, you know, because I'm not the guy, I don't want to hear the sad stuff all the time. Like, don't remind me of it, you know? I appreciate the text and the first time you see me, but we got a task to attend to. We got work to do. Let's go hoop. Because that's what she would want me to do. She wouldn't want me to pout, cry, and sit in the house on her blanket. Like, nah, she taught me to be tough. She taught me to keep going. So, you know, I was ready to hoop. And from that moment, the organization, it got bad, man. Like, as you guys can see, like, such and such got fired, another guy left, they brought new people in, and it was a situation where, like, seriously, like, I got all these problems going on. Not only my mom, I broke my hand, I recovered, and my mom had a stroke. One of my cousins got killed. Then my uncle overdosed.
Damn.
Back to back to back. And in the meantime of all this, like, I'm not getting what I need in the organization. It's hard for me to get my training table time. It's hard for me to get lifts. It's hard for me to get my own court time. So you can only imagine where my mental is at.
Stress.
I'm stressed, I'm mad every day, I'm sad, I'm angry, I don't want to be there at that time. Like, it's so much going on, you feel what I'm saying? And it's crazy, the day I tore my Achilles, I'm in the car with my brother driving to the game, all this stuff is just wearing on me because I'm seeing something that's going on that I've never experienced in the NBA. The NBA's always been the ultimate professionals in everything. How you work, how you walk, how you talk, whatever. You get everything, you know what I'm saying? That's never gonna be the problem to people to come get your work. You know, they got food, they got everything you need. The problems usually come from outside of it. Or your play. You produced or you didn't. You know what I'm saying? It ain't those things. And I'm somebody that's really detailed about my work. You know, my work is my work. I don't play about my work. So not only I have my hand, my mom, my cousin, my uncle, I'm not even able to get what I need.
Right.
My mind's in a whole nother world. I don't even know if I want to play basketball at that time.
So all of this is going on. You pop your Achilles. What's going through your mind when you're on the court playing the Celtics and your Achilles goes?
The day I was driving to the game, my brother was with me. We're driving, and I'm just venting to him. he talks about it to this day. Like, he's like, our conversations was just weird. Like, it was like something was gonna happen. Like, I told my agent too, I'm like, man, if something don't shake, like, something's gonna happen. I don't know what it is. The way that things is going and where my mental is at, it wasn't just me, it was everybody's mental, every player. Like, I hope this brings peace to my brothers. I hope, you know, everybody gets what they need. I hope the organization, you know, get it together. Like, because you have the talent, but it ain't just the talent. You need every dot to connect to have a chance to go win. But even that game, I just was mentally gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just gone. I've never felt this way. I don't smoke or drink.
Right.
So I'm feeling something that I don't even, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. I'm like, why? I got hurt the first quarter, like, right away.
Mm-hmm.
Right away. And then what hurt me the more about that situation is when I got hurt right there. I got up, walked it off, went to the back. My girl's being told, my brother's being told, whatever you need, whatever you need. You need anything, whatever you need. I'm sitting on the bed like, damn, whatever I need after I tear my Achilles.
Right.
You know, so, you know, that was that. But like I said, I could be a little crazy. I laughed at it, honestly.
So
I tear my Achilles. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yo,
It
Mitch,
is what it is.
Mitch is in San Antonio now.
San Antonio, Mitch Johnson.
Yeah.
Congrats to him.
What is it like to be with Greg Popovich, to be there at the press conference, to have this connection with him, and then the person that moves into the head coaching spot is someone you've known for a lot of your life?
He's the reason why I'm here right now. Mitch Johnson's the reason I'm here right now. He's the guy that came and got me out of jail when I was 15 with my uncle. Him and my uncle's best friends. Mitch Johnson created an AAU team for DeJounte Murray called A+. We went around the country. That's how I built my name. That's how I became a top recruit. That's how I got all these scholarships. Because of Mitch Johnson. I put the work in, but he opened his house. He took responsibility as a father, as a big brother, when he didn't have to. He was best friends with my uncle. He created a team for me, an AAU team for me.
Damn.
He's the reason. We went into San Antonio, like, as a package together. They'll tell you, like, we went in together. And there was plans for him because of, not DeJounte, because Mitch Johnson is smart. Mitch Johnson understands the game, knows the game. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to run a team. And that's why I'm not surprised where he's at, you know? He had a plan and he stuck with his plan. He went to the G League, he played the development, he was behind the bench, he got on the bench.
Yeah.
Now he's the head coach. When you pay your dues and you put the work in and you don't put a timetable on the work, good things happen. So, you know, for me, I wasn't just there for Mitch. I was there for Mitch Johnson. I was there for Greg Popovich. It was a beautiful transition.
Yeah.
Knowing the story behind it, at least for me and Mitch, and then how much I love Pop, you know what I'm saying? So Mitch
That's awesome.
He's the real deal.
I love that.
Are you happy?
For what?
With life, are you happy?
I'm happy.
All-star,
Nah.
balling, got money, kids, are you happy?
It depends what you mean about
Happy,
that,
bro.
though, man.
I'm happy. I enjoy this life.
Like, but the money don't make me happy.
Money don't make me happy. I have a beautiful wife. I have great kids.
Yeah.
I have a good time. We're not traveling. I'm with my kids. I am happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy with my lady. I'm happy with my kids. The curse of that, though, the other half of that is you just see so many people change on you. Like, usually here he changed, but usually it's the people around you that change, you know, when you're a good-hearted, God-fearing person like myself. So when you say that, like, yeah, I'm happy with the blessings and, you know, like I have a lady that, you know, loves me, the kids, my kids that love me. But it's like, damn, when you look at so many people that you would think they just happy for you.
They're not.
They not happy for me. When you genuine and you love everybody unconditionally, like, that shit hurt. I don't care who you are. Yeah. You feel me? But more of the story, I'm happy. I'm about to take a vacation with my family in a couple days. I'm happy, for sure.
DeJounte, I think my last question as we end it, man, would be, you have come such a long way, and you keep talking about healing, and you've talked about the things that you deal with emotionally and mentally to yourself. When are you going to let people in order to help you? This show became what it is beyond a shadow of a doubt because Michael Beasley sat right where you were sitting, man, and told us how
I just
long.
watched that the other day.
Told us
him
how
saying
long.
his mom stole from him, rest in peace. You know, the people around him, like that shit messed me up.
Yeah, like when are you gonna start letting people help you and letting people be a part of the healing process? Because you are strong, man, and you are mature, and I can tell the level of emotional intelligence that you have, but what you went through is not a one-man job unless that man's name is Jesus. When are you gonna let people come in and be, whether it's an ear, whether it's advice, or sometimes, bro, like you just gotta sit around with people and cry. Are you open to trying to get to that point?
When they show consistency of caring about me instead of wanting from me. Yeah, because I'm somebody that read the room, I know what's going on. I could see somebody text me, how you doing? And then boom, can I hold this? Come right after. Straight up. And, you know, somebody show me the consistency of, man, I care about you. I really love you, man. Forget what you could do for me, what you could do for yourself. Like, nah, I love you, the person. Love you, the person. Instead of wanting these things from this person. For sure. Because I know it ain't about me, it's bigger than me. We all in this together. And I know there's people that can help you. It's just for me, my life, my story been so messed up. And like I said, the survival thing, and when you just been failed by so many people, it's tough, you know, but I think that's the most important, you know, consistency. It's showing you care. You don't want nothing from me. Because I show you I care. I hit you. I hit people on birthdays. I remember everybody's birthdays, holidays. I'm the one that send the message. I don't wait for you to send me the message. I'll tell you happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I send that, not to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, all the people I care about. Actions speak louder than words, moral of the story.
You are an extremely special human, man. I'm so grateful for you, bro. But like I've been trying to do this forever, and it was honestly better than I even thought. The conversation, the way you opened up, and my hopes is you enjoyed it enough and you feel safe enough where, man, we could do this again. I think it's so much more. I love to chop it up with you about, bro.
Y'all real, man. Like I said, besides the football, you know, like I know my history of football, you know, but besides that, because we're bigger than athletes, we're bigger than sports, you feel me? And all y'all represent what I feel like I represent, you know, being a great human being, you feel what I'm saying? And just wanting to make the world a better place. You can't change everybody.
Nope.
We could change one person, we did our job. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just respect and love to all of y'all, man. That's why I had to give y'all your flowers at the beginning of the show.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
For sure. Nah, you already know.
That was dope, my boy. Appreciate you,
For
family.
sure. Hell yeah.
D, I don't know, man. I might be able to.